What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Road to 1000 Elo. Now, I have been gone for a while. It's been about 2 weeks since I last uploaded. Now, before we get into the game, I just wanted to get some things clear. Um, I have gone on a bit of a tangent, let's say. So I've gone through the emotions of playing chess and losing and basically trying to regain the elo that I've lost by playing after losing. And what that meant was I got myself into a bit of a spiral where I lost a lot of elo. I was down over 100 elo at one point just because I was trying to force myself to win the games. And at my peak, I was at 673. We've then gone down to 630 odd, and from then on I've gone on that run of basically losing games, and that was basically something that made me not want to play chess for a while, because I was quite upset with myself and I was upset with how badly I was playing. So I took a few days off because it got to the point where I was quite afraid of playing because I didn't want to face another loss. And there were so many games where I've blundered, and it was purely because I was rushing. I wasn't taking my time. I was playing 10-minute games, but what I realized was I was trying to cramp so many of those games in, which is why I've lowered the timestamp. But what that meant was I was making a lot more mistakes because I wasn't thinking straight and I wasn't performing as well as I could have. And I've fallen into so many traps and so many forks, and I've lost so many pieces just because I wasn't really paying attention. I was just so focused on trying to get the elo back. So since I've dropped to 500, and I think I was as low as 560 odd, I'm now back to 584. So still over 90 elo loss from my peak, which is, it's really frustrating, to be honest with you, and it's the reason why I haven't been uploading as much as I should. So what I thought I would do is, as a sort of, I'm back after a 2 week break, what we will do is we'll review the last two games that I have played. We'll go through them. One is a 15-minute game, one is a 10-minute game, and I'll go through my process and what I was thinking. So yeah, let's dive into it. But it does feel great to be back, and hopefully I won't get in my feels again about losing at chess. So without further ado, let's get into it and I'll explain the first game. Okay, so this is the first game that I will be showing you guys. It's a game that I have just finished playing actually. So I was rated 570 odd elo at the time, and my opponent was 587. So at the start of the game, let's just do this. So he started off with d4. I followed up by d5. I wasn't sure what to do when d5 happened. I was sort of like, let's see what happens. So he decided to play the London. Now, in my head, I wish I hadn't played d5 as such, but I'd prefer to have played d6, sorry, and I've gone for more of a King's Indian setup, which is what I've ended up doing anyway. It's just I ended up playing d5 anyway. So as you can see, I got my knight out. He got his pawn. I have decided to fianchetto my bishop after he developed his knight. So the game continued. I castled. He got his bishop out. And at this point, I also developed my knight. Now, I have realized the mistake that I have made was I have blocked my c7 pawn here, because I wanted to see whether it was possible for me to get my queen out and basically target this area of his board. But because I got my knight in front of the pawn, it meant I got blocked. Now the engine is suggesting for me to break with c5, but let's say if he was to take, I don't think I have a straightaway way of attacking the pawn. And yes, I could have developed the knight to then head back here, but then again, I'm guessing he could have protected the pawn anyway, so it's something I wasn't really thinking about. Instead, I was thinking about developing and trying to stick to good principles, especially after losing so many games. So he's decided to go with a3, which was basically, I'm guessing, to stop my knight from coming here, which is absolutely fair enough. So I developed my bishop. Now, this move is okay, but again, this bishop is doing nothing. And again, if this pawn was here, I would have been able to push and see what I could have done otherwise. But, you know, I've blocked myself in. So he decided to go with h3, which is, it says it's the best move, but it didn't feel great at the time. I decided to move a6 just because I wanted to stop his knight from coming onto b5. So he decided to push his pawn. I pushed mine. I was basically, the game got very tight and very positional, and you'll be able to see the evo bar does start to jump up and down because the you know, the favors and the sort of what's it called, the advantage was swaying from one way to another, which you'll be able to see. So he pushed his g pawn. Now I have noticed there's a very obvious weakness on this square, and it was something that I was bearing in mind. So I was just basically waiting, and I was developing my queen. I was thinking actually about if it was possible for me to hop my knight here, but then I realized he had two pieces going for this square whilst I only had one. So, and unfortunately I wasn't able to take my bishop to the f5 square because obviously of this pawn, which was a little bit annoying because I wanted to break through, because it felt like this game was so, it just needed, you know, a break. So he developed his knight, undeveloped his knight. I moved my rook because I thought, why not bring the rook to the center? He moved his pawn. I moved my pawn, which, to be honest, you'll see what happens. It was a game. It was a game where we both, it seemed like we were both waiting to see what's gonna happen. Now you can see I'm, you know, down on time quite significantly by 4 minutes. So yeah, he developed his knight, and at this point I knew this was coming. Now, I wish I had played differently, so I could have done something to stop him from coming here. Now, one way I can think about is to do this and push my queen, but then it will get taken. So yeah, it was a little bit of an annoying one. So what I decided to do was to try and threaten his bishop. He does develop his knight, which was predicted. I moved back. He then moved back his bishop. I moved back mine as well, because basically my point was to either basically move this knight here and here and just try and find some more space, or if he was to take, then it means I can take back and get rid of the annoying knight. So he then ended up castling. I pushed forward because I thought, well, nothing is happening, and potentially if he was to take, I can take back and attack his bishop. So that was my thought. He then moved his rook, which meant, you know, I just thought, you know what, let's just take the pawn. I moved my queen back because I was thinking, what if I can sort of attack on this side as well. So he moved his queen back. I've basically undeveloped my knight, and basically the reason for that was because my goal, if we go back, my goal with this knight was to put it here, here, and then again here, to try and put some more pressure on this knight. Now I know this was quite slow, but it's what I thought would be best at the time. So I have you know, put my knight there. He then decided to go for a double attack. I have undeveloped my knight to try and reroute it. He then blundered a piece, so obviously I will take it, no problem at all. And then I tried to open up the center again by basically you know, trying to force something to happen. So he ended up going and double stacking the rooks. And at this point I thought, okay, I'm quite close to getting checkmated. What can I do? So I decided to move my knight, basically protecting this square as much as I could. And I knew, you know, if he was to go here, I can take, and then, you know, so on that end I felt protected. Now he decided to go after the c7 pawn, which I actually didn't see. So I decided to take his pawn. He took the pawn, which obviously meant I got forked. I moved my queen. Weirdly enough, he didn't take my rook, which I was fully expecting him to do. So I moved it out of the way. He moved his queen. I've won a pawn, and at this point I started to feel quite comfortable. He gave me a very blundery check, so what I've done was obviously taken the free rook. He does it again, so he gave me 2 rooks for basically free. Now I'm guessing that was his idea, because you'll be able to see he was probably trying to go for some sort of sacrifice. So he checked me, I blocked with the knight. He goes again, I block with the pawn. He checks, which at this point I thought, this can't be right, because you're giving me a piece for free and I have a nice little pawn double in front of my king. So yeah, so he decided to then develop his knight, and I got forked again. I've moved my queen. He didn't decide to take my rook. Instead he went for a check that basically did nothing. I moved my king. He then moved his queen, and what I've done was I decided to basically pin his pawn. He done for another check, and at this point I was getting prepared to basically lose this knight. So yeah, that's what happened. I checked him. He moved his king. I have then checked him again. Not checked, sorry. I have basically taken another pawn. He moved his knight, and at this point I knew I had a checkmate idea. I think it was if I did this right, because then it means he has to go here, and then once that's done, that's checkmate, if I'm not, yeah. So that is not what I've done though. Instead I have moved my bishop out the way, which he took. I then took his knight, and I was still a bit scared of basically his queen. I remember the reason why I moved my bishop here was because I thought, if he goes here, that's checkmate. What can I do to prevent checkmate? And instead of thinking I have an idea of my own, I was thinking of the defensive, which is why I basically moved my my bishop here, because I thought if he goes here, or here, sorry, and at least I'm protecting the square. So that was my thought anyway. So he took, I moved my pawn, which again was a miss. My computer's starting to lag. He then moves his queen furthermore. I checked him with a pawn. He moved back, and I've won another game by this checkmate. So it was a game that had plenty of misses. It had plenty of different things, but again, it was positional game. And as you guys know, if you have seen any other of my content, I struggle with positional chess, so I was quite happy to see things playing out as they did. So what I will do now is I will move on to the second game, and we will see what happened there. Okay, so this is the second game, and this game I was very embarrassed by. As you can see, this was when I dropped over 100 elo, because we are down to 567. So let's get into it. He started with the typical e4. We've gone for the Caro-Kann, and I have decided to take. They took again. I developed my knight. He took the queen. I took his queen as well. And I noticed there was some sort of tactic for him to try and do something. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna take the pawn, and to be honest with you, that's probably the only good move I have made in this game. So they have developed the knight, and what I have decided to do instead was to take the bishop instead of the knight. So he took, I have developed, and yeah, as you can see, your boy has fallen into the trap once again. I need to remember, whenever the knight is on here, you know, we're in big trouble, and I need to do something better. So the engine is saying that I should have just moved my king back, which, to be honest, it would have saved me a lot of hassle, because if you went there, I could have just taken, or, you know, this wouldn't have been an option. But unfortunately, it was. So I moved the king, I took the pawn, yeah, and at this point, I know, and that's not me, you know, trying to be so myself or anything, but I know on a good day, or on any other day, I would have beaten this person, and that's no disrespect to them. It's just me realizing how badly I played, and how good I can play when I'm on it. So, you know, as always, I have dropped another pawn, because my head was basically gone at this point. So yeah, this game was basically a typical 500 elo game, and yeah, it was like this move as well. In this move, I thought you're gonna take my rook with your knight, I'm gonna take your rook with my knight, but they just took my rook with their rook, which, yeah, I just wasn't thinking about. And yeah, this game just, it was one of those where when it rains it poured, and that game was about 3 days ago, and at this point I just thought, you know what, let's just call it a day, because I wasn't in the right mindset to play. So this just goes to show the level of chess that has dropped for me once I started to lose, and I was trying to force things rather than trying to think and play. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the ugly with the bad as well. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for today's episode. Hopefully we're back uploading regularly. So just wanted to say thank you so much for watching these videos. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you show me a like as well if you enjoyed the video. And again, please consider subscribing. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. But hopefully we are back. It feels good to be back recording. Hopefully a lot less blunders, and we'll be able to see some nice wins on the board. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.